This is an example of a Phalaenopsis orchid. It is also a zygomorphic flower, which means that if you were to divide the frontal face of this flower in half, the right side would be a mirror image of the left side. Now, the orchid itself is made up of several parts. There are 3 sepals. This is one, this is another, and this is another. Then there are 2 lateral petals, which is this and this. You then have a column, which is this protruding form right here. And then you have a labellum, which is this portion of the orchid right here. If we rotate this, you can see in profile it is very different from the front. And you can see how the labellum really projects out. You can see the column just beyond these 2 framing segments, and you can see your sepals and you can see your petals. Note how they join to the stem. So here's your profile for this orchid. It's a little different from some of the other orchids. For instance, a dendrobium, you would have a nectar sac in the back. With this Phalaenopsis is a very flat profile. And in the back you can see very clearly the 3 sepals, and then they are first from the stem and then the 2 petals on the inside. Now if we move up on the stem, you can see the buds in various stages of openness on this flower. Unfortunately, these first buds that follow the open flower are not doing really well, but you can still draw this if you realize and look at the buds above, and then even go on the internet and see how these things actually are supposed to grow. You can use the tones that are in the live buds rather than the ones that are looking a little bit or a little pale. And you can tell they're dying because these peduncles themselves are not green like the open flowers themselves. Now if you look at the plant itself, you can see multiple layers of broad, beautiful green leaves, and you can see a bit of the root system for the plant itself. Note that the spike for the orchid is quite tall and reaches up quite a distance before you get to the flower itself.